So
Yeah.
like,
Hello, Amy. Oh
hi
my
T,
God. It's
namaste.
so, yeah, let's do, very nice
Long
to be
time
back
no see.
here. Long time, I know. Like what, like 10 minutes
Yeah, 10 minutes, something like that.
between
Yeah,
your yoga and yoga day three, right? And right now, it's
day
so
three.
amazing that you just hop straight onto here right after yoga.
Yeah, I think it's the best time. I think we did. This is perfect, Jing. Look at this alignment. We did heart openers today, and we're going to talk about love and relationships.
That's
It's
right.
it's like perfect. One mind.
Exactly. Definitely, definitely. And then we're gonna give everybody some like heart opening, some practices you can do apart from the yoga practice that we did with Amy today. But there are a lot of other like heart chakra practices you can do.
Mm.
So our topic today, love and relationships. All the girls' favorite. I think it's all the girls' favorite topic.
And the guys. I bet the
And
guys
and,
are
and
like,
guys too.
let's find out what the girls are thinking.
Exactly. So if you're watching us live right now, leaving a comment if this is your favorite topic. If you're a guy watching this, let us know if this is your favorite topic too. Maybe it's slightly different. I think for guys, a lot of times the attention is on how do I pick up girls? You know, like what do I say to girls? Whereas for girls, a lot of the attention is on like, does he like me? How do I get it? Like the text, that particular text from him, or I don't know, like when you're in a relationship, there's a lot of like questions like, how do I get him to propose to me? Right?
Right.
Those are the, yeah, I think those are the common ones. Yeah, it's actually very funny. We thought that, um, this whole platform is about wellness, right? Women's wellness, but love and relationship is definitely part of the wellness too. The emotional wellness, right? The mental wellness. So we thought, you know what? Let's talk about relationship, love and dating relationship here today.
She's
So,
the expert.
hi.
I'm relying on Jean to bring. Actually, no, I'm the expert of like probably unhealthy relationships, and then we have, well, it's mirrored, and we have Jean here who's like the expert on how to manifest a healthy relationship. This is going to be really interesting.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yes, it is going to be very interesting. And I do have my personal experience of that too, both healthy and unhealthy. Right? I've experienced like both ends of the spectrum. And I know that a lot of like our creators in the community are going through, like different phases in their relationships. Some are probably going through some challenges right now, or some are probably starting, a new chapter, or maybe you are like exiting, closing a chapter. Whichever phase that you're going through right now, all you have to remember is that the relationship is ultimately there to nourish your soul. It's not about doing things to please the other person. It's not about being insecure and what's the word, obsessed and stressed about would the person be mad at me, or is this enough for the other person? But you have to be sure, 100% sure of what is it that you want, what are your needs, what are your wants, right? Your clear direction in life, and how would you like to feel when you are in a relationship. Then I'll say once you have your own clarity, it will actually make things a lot easier. It doesn't matter what phase you're going through, right? So that is just my first kind of little little wisdom to give out to everybody. I learned it the hard way, like in my own experience.
Definitely. Well, it's, I think most people can relate to going through just a bunch of difficult relationships before finding, the one. And it's interesting because I was thinking about this today, like what would I say? And I was replaying sort of my relationship history in front of my eyes. I was thinking, actually, it's very, very interesting because there's always there's a pattern. I started to notice this pattern, and like quite recently, and the last few months when this big change occurred in my life, and I was like, I look back at all of my relationships, they all followed the same pattern. And I was like, it's like almost being stuck in like Groundhog Day, Have you seen
Mm,
Groundhog Day like that?
yeah,
Same thing over
yeah,
and over again. And I remember
over and
thinking,
over.
like, why is that? And I started to ask myself, well, what's the pattern? And actually, let's just put a pause on the whole thing, right? And not try it and date until I figured this out, because when we're in a relationship with someone, it's such a very strong mirror to what all your crap, like. So no matter how
Exactly.
lovely it starts, right, that, like, we've all been there, I've been there, it starts lovely, this one's going to be different. And
Now you are saying that I
that was weird. That was Master.
Is someone walking?
That was Master's voice. He's
What
always
was that? Was that a recording or was
no,
it
it's
like
the
actually
speaker.
Master? Okay.
Pattern
Okay.
interruption.
Okay. Yeah. Divine interruption.
He's interrupting my pattern. I think they're recording something and it's plugged into the Bluetooth speakers, and suddenly Master's voice was there.
Oh, he's in the other room, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All
that's
right,
what we need.
everybody.
Pattern interrupts. I started to go
Yep.
into my pattern, and Master's like, "Don't think about the pattern. I'm right here." Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's
Okay.
what was I even saying?
We'll talk about Master's pattern in a second.
What was I saying?
You
What
were
was
saying about your Groundhog Day,
I,
yeah,
yeah,
whether if
why
you
is
let it run or you want to pause it.
yeah, because the pattern is the same, right? We have this mirror when we're close to someone, and it mirrors all our crap. And I noticed that no matter how good it started, no matter how good the feelings were, no matter if it was like an easy starting, like this feels great and easy, whether it was like super passionate, or like where it was like full of pain to start with, and they always seem to end the same way. So I was like, this is clearly reflecting something in me, and and I started to look at that and address that, and put a pause on all relationships, all relationships, like
I
I
got
just,
five going on right now.
I was seeing someone. I mentioned this, and then part of my process of moving forward in my life, getting to that next level, new version of myself, was letting go of the relationship, which was reflecting to me on a daily basis that old version of myself, and I had to let that go in order to move forward. So there we are.
That's amazing. I love that you mentioned the what how the relationship is essentially a mirror of ourselves, right? All the crap out in the world, and it gets all manifested in, the dynamic of the relationship. And Master always says that, you attract what you are. You attract, who you are, what you are, and it really does reflect on, the energy from the other person that you're with, right? And I know it sounds easy, like it makes sense in theory for a lot of people that, okay, right, for me to manifest this ideal, loving relationship, this ideal partner, then I need to work on myself because, I want to attract, say if you have a shopping list, right, of, you're going to tick all the boxes for this person I want to be, then, in a way, you kind of have to elevate yourself to be that kind of like the perfect version, right? So, but then like the whole practice of like how do I elevate myself to attract that man or the woman of my dreams is essentially a personal development. There's a whole personal growth journey. And there was something that I actually was going to mention that when you mentioned about the pattern, I can totally relate to that because before my big awakening, so my big awakening was 2014. I still clearly remember that. I was also repeating my own pattern, which I did not see. I was not conscious of my own pattern at all. And like my pattern was that every relationship was different because of different energy, different, people. But what was repeating was the way I reacted, the way I was projecting my insecurities and my fantasies onto that person. So that was always, repeated. Whereas like I did not actually grow. I did not work on myself the whole time. I was just very busy being obsessed of, being in a relationship, if that makes sense, being obsessed of just being in a relationship and being with someone and hoping that, oh, I could settle down with this person. So whoever that I attracted, I just thought that this person would be like, yeah, the final one, this is it, the one or whatever, right? So like I had that desperation in me. So that desperation, like you said, that kind of crap inside your world, right? It was actually driving my actions, and also that was actually manifested in the relationship, how I handled it and everything. And obviously it was not healthy because I could not enjoy it. I could not really, how should I say it, be myself because I want to do everything I could to make sure that this does turn out to be like, that fantasy, whatever ideal relationship I always wanted in my own head. But reality was a different story, right? Reality was more like my desperation, my insecurity, I don't know, the lack of a lot of my scarcity mindset that was projected into that whole relationship energy. So, so that was the pattern that was always repeated. And, I didn't see it until, I got my heart broken by one particular boyfriend. And then that really gave me a big sort of like moment to reflect and to have that awakening. And I found the law of attraction that really helped me. So, yeah, so what I wanted to say is that, with the pattern that we are always repeating, if we start to become aware of it, congratulations, congratulations. This is actually the first step, right?
Yeah.
The first step is always to recognize, to identify, to be aware of what is wrong, for example, what is been happening. Let's not use the word wrong, what's been happening and how do we break that pattern? Right, so that we can actually unshackle ourselves from always repeating the same thing and get out of it. And just like what you said, Amy, you had to like really make that decision to move on by like really moving, right? Like move to another city, start a whole new life. And it's really courageous. I know it's not something that everybody can do, but sometimes it does take that sort of like big ballsy move.
Yeah, to break it, to pattern interrupt, just like what just happened there. It's the thing is like awareness of the pattern is the first step, like Jean. But then, and I had that awakening too. And then what happened for a few years is, I don't know if Jean can relate to this. Then I was just consciously going through the same pattern over and over again, watching myself repeat the same crap over and over again. Like you're stuck in the merry-go-round, you realize you're on the merry-go-round, but you don't know how the hell to
get out of it.
You know what I mean? So it's like we recognize it. First step. Now what the hell do we do? Well, firstly, my advice, if my advice is, because obviously Jing is in the healthy relationship, I'm not, but well, I'll get to
you're
that
on
in a
your
minute.
way there.
Or am I?
You're on your
or
way
am
there.
I? That's the good question. Is just stop until you've figured this out, right? Because even if you think you've partially figured out, you probably haven't. The pattern, it's, how can we put this? It's rather than, I don't want to go into too much about parents and blame and everything, because it's parents, it's some parents, it's some society, but there's a general trend. And for me, my pattern was like, I noticed that I would look for like a certain type of guy. Like if I was working or in a department somewhere, or on a swim team somewhere, let's say there were like 100 guys, and this isn't the case, but hypothetically, 99 of those guys gave me unconditional attention. Why the heck am I focused on the one guy who's not giving me attention and making me feel validated? Right, well, I now have to win that person's attention. Suddenly that person becomes the most attractive, most wonderful person, and I gotta turn them around.
You like challenges, right?
That was my, yeah, I know. So that's society, it's society conditions us to believe that love is tricky and difficult and requires the chase. So we're looking for the chase, we're attracted to the chase, we're manifesting the chase. The 99 guys who would be like easy to date, no, I want the one guy that's tricky and I need to win him over, then I'll feel worthy. What the hell was I doing? So I started to look at, what am I doing? What is going on here? Right, I noticed that I'm trying to play the game, right? Relationships are your chance to win the game that you didn't win when you were younger, right? The one thing that you didn't receive from my parents or carer, we all had it, right? Let's not point fingers, we've all had it. No one's perfect. Parents are doing the best that they can do, right? But there's that one thing that you didn't necessarily receive from your parents. And then relationships, when you start to date, then that's your chance, right, to win the game and make a happy ending and get that thing that you couldn't get, right? But the very nature of the relationship that you've set up in this game is that, for me, for example, that person doesn't make me feel worthy of their love, right? So that's the dynamic. So no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, I still don't feel worthy of that person's love. I still feel unworthy, like incomplete, like I don't have everything that I need, that I don't feel good about myself, that I don't deserve their love, that I don't deserve their time and their attention, etc., etc., all of that, right? It just doesn't change, because the very nature of the relationship is that you don't have what you need from that person. So no matter what you do, ultimately it's doomed to fail. So that was my pattern, and that was my big awakening. So I was just like, right, okay. And I know this sounds like a cliche, but it's true. And I've watched it happen 100% of the time, that I've watched my girlfriends and even myself just stop dating, stop thinking about dating, stop thinking about dating to try and get someone, and focus on yourself. Now this has to be truly authentic, and it really does take having had completely enough to get to this point. Like, I'm honestly done. Not I'm done, but I heard that if I say that I'm done and I focus on myself, then I'll get the guy. No, you have to be completely
right, with the agenda. That little hidden agenda.
I'm going to work on myself. I'm working on myself. Where's the guy? I'm working on myself. Now, where's the guy? I was promised the guy if I work on myself. No, you have to like genuinely 100% focus.
Like let go. Yes, exactly.
And one of the ways that could do that, right, is literally just throwing your life up in the air and moving, and all of a sudden starting a new job, starting a new life, and now you've got no time to think about anyone but yourself. And that's actually one way to do it, which is the way that I've done it. And the interesting thing, really super interesting thing that's happened, and no, this is not Disney, this is actually genuinely proof. If you've been on any of my yoga or seen the comments, the crazy thing is that actually, because I'm genuinely focused on myself right now, every day I'm doing work on my BS, my crap, to change it. I actually haven't been thinking about relationship. That's been like the last thought in my mind. Now, the love that I've received from the community and the love that I give to them, actually, I was thinking about this today. I even feel like I need a relationship, because boy, do I have a lot of love from this community and my teammates and Jing and my family. All my relationships with my family have improved. My friends have improved. I actually feel like I have more love than ever, and I don't even need it anymore. So probably what's going to happen, can't guarantee it, is the love of my life pops into my life.
It will appear. When you least expect it. That's why I was telling you it's coming. But don't, we're not gonna expect when is it gonna come, right? Like at
actually, the divine time. I think if it didn't come now, because for me, God, on the yoga challenge, did you see the comments? I'm like, I can't even believe it. It's overwhelming. And then I'm giving them love back, and then they're giving me more love back. And
it's all genuine. We're all genuinely here's love for you, Amy. You've given so much love to us.
Same for Jing. I look at Jing and I just think, oh.
it's so genuine love. And we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, Jing texts me. I'm excited. Jing texts me. Yeah.
I'm just really proud of everything that you do, and you've come a long way, right? So this is really the love that we have for each other inside the tribe, right? I can't say it only happens in this tribe, but most likely the love, the support that you receive inside this creator circle tribe is genuine, and is authentic, because we are all with each other all the time, and seeing each other's growth and seeing what the ups and downs that everybody goes through. So this is the kind of love that you really need. And back to what you were saying, I really love that you were talking about the fact that you're so focused on giving the love, providing love to the community. That completes you too, because it's about you being part of something, part of this big mission we have, and also having that energy. It's an exchange of energy, right? The love exchange. This makes you feel so fulfilled and complete. I 100% agree with that, because I also have been through a phase, or no, I wouldn't say phase. I have been through the stage where I literally also say to myself that I don't need to date right now. I am so happy with where my life is going, what I'm doing right now. I don't even want to think about dating. If I really do have to start dating, it probably would ruin this thing I'm already this project I'm doing, I'm so fulfilled doing what I'm doing. I feel like I don't even need to think about it. And I can 100% relate to that, because my obsession, I'll say subconscious obsession before, was also on love and relationship all the time. Subconsciously, consciously, it was there, right? Said you gotta stop everything and focus on yourself. And for me, at the beginning, it was really okay, practicing law of attraction so I can attract my ex back. I did that. Okay, I here again, if you haven't heard this from me, I've tried that. I've tried to attract my ex back, and what? It didn't work.
It
Okay,
didn't
but
work.
I'm telling you that it doesn't mean that it will never work for any of you. It just means that if you are trying to attract, your ex back, you just have to be completely detached from the outcome. You have to be okay with two outcomes. Either does come out, or he does come back, or he or she doesn't come back. And
This
you're going to
is
be okay.
this is
Right.
100% true. Wait, this way. Yeah. Actually, genuine. I think what you're saying is,
I think you should point the other way.
yeah, that way.
No, not this way. Opposite. Yeah.
is so true. Like, is it? It must be so difficult. Like, I really don't want to attract my ex back, guys. Like, genuinely. So both of them are like, both of my most recent exes are like always contacting me. So you're welcome to mine, right? You guys want their exes. They have some great qualities. They have some qualities, which is, ego and pain, as we all do, but they have some great qualities. So I have two exes if you want them. The funny thing is that actually that's genuinely true. I have no interest in going back there because they're behind me for a reason. I've evolved way past the person that I was when I was with each of those people, and couldn't care less because of that. There they are, right? It's just you're magnetic when you're not needy. And it's like, I watch all these, I want my ex back, and you gotta work on yourself, because if there's a tiny element of neediness, I need, please. So it's like, I know that neediness is, if so, for example, if you went out into the street and you see a homeless person genuinely need, right, sure, we stop, we pick them up, and we help them, and then we go on our day. It's neediness is not attractive, is it? Like, if we're super honest with us, and it's not attractive on a law of attraction level either. So, and then how do I stop? I need to stop being needy. Like, this is a difficult cycle. Again, as I said, just stop, go work on yourself. Like, genuinely work on yourself. Make yourself so busy that you've not got time, as Jean was saying, and then that's when it will happen. Don't even think about them, not for a second. And then that's when like, you got all your exes back at once.
But when they actually do contact you, you don't even want it, because your energy is evolved, right? Your energy is transformed. You're a different person. So there's that mismatch there.
It
right?
is.
And definitely the neediness is, it's like, if you want this person back, that means something is not, there's no closure there. You feel like something is not really, hasn't been communicated, or something is not resolved, right?
It's the
And everything,
for sure.
yeah, exactly. Everything ends for a reason.
It's
right?
like, if we, because I have no problem being honest on camera, so I'll just put it out there. If I really ask myself, why do I, like, whatever reason I gave about my needing my ex back, needing to get them back because they were the one, or like blah blah blah, give all these like nice sounding reasons, logical reasons of why I should get my ex back. If I really focused in and I was honest about the reason I wanted my ex back, was so I could actually just prove to myself that I was worthy. Because if I could win that person over again, then I'm worthy, right? It's that game again. We're addicted to the game. We'll tell ourselves all these stories in our mind, but essentially, if we're honest, we just want to resolve, right? We just want to win that game, win that person, and then we can feel okay. Then we can feel worthy, whole, and complete. It's just not going to happen.
Definitely. I totally agree with that. It is, like you said, the game of having to prove to ourselves that we are worth it, right? And if someone, especially in a case where the other person, basically ended the relationship, and that definitely is a big cut to our ego, right? Like firstly, it's like, whoa, what's wrong with me? And why do you want to end it with me? Is there something wrong with me? Blah, 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 right? So having that, obviously, emotionally, you're probably still attached to it. But then, if that person, right, the other person doesn't want it. I shouldn't say the other half, right? We're complete. We don't need the other half. The other person, if the other person doesn't want this anymore, like my attitude right now, like what I have developed is that,
sorry, hold on a second.
No problems. Is someone calling you? Yeah. I think someone wants to do a calling. We should do a calling.
It's
hey, we got like a distance.
It's
serious?
Not it was Angela.
Okay, right. Imagine. Oh wow, this is like a super manifestation here, right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know, it's very funny. Maybe we should do something like that, like a calling. You're live on the radio.
Yeah.
What's your question? Oh, we do have someone who wants to ask a question, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Maritish. Yeah, I think Maritish wants to ask a question. Yeah, so she can type it or he can type it here. It's just she, right? Yeah, so what was I saying? About the ex and I lost my pattern. I lost my train of thoughts. Yeah, so thank you, Ara. I love you too. So
Love
sorry.
you, Ara. I saw that. Love you. Love you. Love my yogi tribe.
So yeah, I don't know how we got here. I had a feeling we'll be talking about X, for some reason. This is a big, big topic. Oh yeah, so the other person ended it. And my attitude is that if there's a reason for that person to not want to be in this relationship anymore, then obviously, you need to talk about it, what is going on and all that. And if that person is so sure with her or his decision, honestly, just gotta let it be. Like, we cannot force other people to love us. We cannot force something to happen. It has to be mutual. It has to happen, like they say, stars align and all that, right? Like, you have to be on the same page. Just the same as friendship, right? You two have to click and you got to be on the same page, then you become friends. But when something is off, when the other person doesn't want it anymore, like, my attitude now is just that you have to understand it, right? Like I told you, I don't know if I told you this or I told some people that I got told 2 days, actually 1 day before Valentine's Day, that I'm not the right person. I got dumped 1 day before Valentine's.
Oh my God.
It's okay. I'm okay now. It's all happened for the right reason, right? So
Aw.
now thinking about
Love
it, I
you,
was so
Valentine.
heartbroken. I know, right? So like I was very heartbroken at the time. I was like, how dare you do this to me before Valentine's, right? But it was all my ego speaking. Like, like everything was fine, but why do you have to do this before Valentine's? And then the reason, the guy basically just said that I don't really see us together in the future. I can't pinpoint why, like what's wrong with me or you, or it's not you, it's me, that kind of stuff. And that time I could not understand it. I'm like, you have to give me a proper reason why you cannot see me in your future. I do everything and it's just something I'm not doing enough and all that, right? Again, my energy was like trying to prove myself that I am worthy, I am like the right person for you. Whereas like if you really just take a step back and look at it and go, okay, this guy doesn't want to be with Jing anymore, okay, then he probably just really doesn't feel that she's the one, or like sometimes it just cannot be explained.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it drives us crazy. I think especially women and men too, that we want to get to the bottom of everything, right? Like we've got to know, right? Like give me a scientific report, right? Give me a lab report.
But do we want to know the truth? That's it. If we're honest with ourselves, do we want to know the truth? The most honest breakup that I have ever had, I think I was like 13, and he literally just said to me, like, so sweet, so kind, like he held my hand. He's like, Amy, I want to break up. I said, well, why? And he said, I just don't fancy you anymore. I don't like you anymore.
It kind of sounds cute because you were 13.
But then there was no questions. It was tough. That was hard. That was hurtful. But like, it's nothing about me. He clearly liked me once. He just doesn't anymore. It's nothing about me. Actually, that was probably the easiest one to get up with. Sure, I cried in the car like really hard on my dad, and my dad didn't know what to do, and like the songs would remind me of him for a while. But like, it was probably the most honest, the best breakup that I had, because it was just, there was no questions left. And I think, as Jing was saying, we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Because we really want to hear that it's not us, right? We really want to know that actually we are worthy. We really want to find that evidence that they're broken, it's them, somehow they're crazy, there was someone else, or someone, there was like someone died, he died, something like that isn't actually, it's me, or he just didn't like me, that I'm not worthy, that I'm, this is the battle, this is what we're trying to prove, we're trying to win the game, that I'm worthy with someone else, and it's just not possible.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially when you're younger, it's harder to kind of like, accept everything as it is, because, you want to always win the game. You always want to be like the right person, for that person. But, so that's why when I talk to people in their late teens or early 20s, I'm like, just enjoy what you got. But at the back of my mind, I know it's a bit mean, okay, but I'm like, yeah, you probably want to end up with this person anyway. So
yeah, I know. But the thing is that you can't tell someone that, because
I don't say it.
Like, when it comes to the heart, our brains can tell us 1,000 reasons, it's like they need to learn it for themselves, need to experience it for themselves. And there's something quite beautiful about that. If I look back at all my exes, particularly the last two, the second to last one, boy, was that painful. Boy, was that tough. Boy, was I choosing the route of maximum pain. That's my pattern too, like Jing was saying, right? Love has to be hard. Love has to be tough. I have to earn the right to be loved. It has to be a challenge. And like this relationship was like maximum pain. It was tough, but boy, did I learn so much about myself. I'm grateful for that relationship because I really changed so much for the better from having this like really strong, painful mirror of everything that I was dealing with in myself. Because really, I mean, the one thing I learned is that it's not possible for someone to hurt me emotionally if they're not attacking some level of my ego, right? If my ego doesn't feel threatened. So every time you feel emotional pain is a chance to break down your ego, which is what we want, right? We want to break it down.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a
I would love
beautiful
to. I was going to ask Jing, like, make sure you share to us because I want to listen to this too. How you got your husband? You know, your good relationship.
Manifest the man.
How did you?
Right. So yeah, some of you could see like the photo. I try to keep it like a clean one, but yeah, we do have some of pictures here, so you may be able to see some. He's always in his dungeon, you know, in his studies. He works on cartoons. He works on Netflix shows, so that's his job. But yeah, if you guys do see maybe there's some photos, I mean, some videos of me and my husband doing yoga together, right? So I sent one to Amy yesterday, but it's just his back view. He has a very muscular back. Okay, so back to what you were asking me. How did I manifest? This is a really, really good question because this is how I manifest my husband is a classic case of like when you let go of the expectations and things do happen unexpectedly. Right. So I can tell you how. Okay. Just long story short, I can go into the detailed version next time because it's very interesting. Firstly, we met on dating app, right? Something that a lot of people actually don't like. And I tell people, actually, I met my husband on the dating app, right? And we were in two complete different countries. Like really, really, like he is based here. And he has always been in Canada, right? And I was living in Asia. We're from like two complete different continents, and there was actually no expectation there because when we swipe right to each other, when we swipe each other,
what was it? Tinder? Was it Tinder?
It was Bumble.
Oh, Bumble.
Okay. Now everybody's like, I knew it. It's funny because when I first told my girlfriends about it, everyone went on to download Bumble. Like, I think because at that time, a few years ago, it was still newish, like a new app. So everybody was like, okay, let me get on there because, you found, the right one. I'm going to go try it. And then some of them went back to me and saying that, no, it didn't work for me. And I say, hey, this is not a guarantee that when you go there, you will find the one, right? Some people found their one on Tinder. Some people found on, I don't know, whatever, library or the pub. So you will find your loved one wherever. Oh, some people may find the one here in our CC Plus, in our creator circle, right? That's why you gotta show up every Sunday, okay? That's why you gotta show up at the challenge. Whenever we have like yoga challenge or events, leave your camera on. You never know. So the important part I have to mention is I used to have all these pictures on my vision board. So I have a habit since like 2014 to keep a vision board. So relationship definitely is always on my vision board. And I will always have pictures of like, man, woman, the coupley pictures there to represent my desire for a healthy, loving relationship. But then I clearly remember this was in June, 2017. Yeah, 2017 June. And I came across this quote on Pinterest. It says, I attune my energy to attract love, right? That quote, it just resonated with me so much, right? Like it was like something that just thrown at me by the universe. I'm like, wow, that's so powerful. Okay, I'm gonna download that. I grabbed that and put it into my vision board on Pinterest. And I replaced all the coupley pictures and all the human pictures with this quote because I just felt so much power when I saw it. And it made so much sense to me.
Can you repeat it?
I attune my energy to attract love. Yeah, attune it, right? So I was like, wow, this is great. That's exactly what I'm doing now and what I have been doing. Like, for the past 2 years, actually. Yeah, so 2 or 3 years, like I did get into a couple of relationships, but it just ended very peacefully, and then there was nothing dramatic. And I was actually very focused on building my own health and wellness business. So I didn't feel like, I was very like satisfied with like the fact that I'm going on this journey of like, working on myself and building my business. I didn't feel like I had to like be on this journey of looking for the one. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is great. This really describes how I feel right now. So I put that quote there, and like it's really empowering, right? When you look at some quotes. And like 2 weeks later, that's when I met my husband on Bumble, when we swiped each other. But at the time, it was just all easy. Like even like this is something I want to tell everyone. Even when you are using any dating app, right? Don't be obsessive. Don't have that expectation. Like you better be the good one. You better just be casual about it. Like if it happens, it happens. You're meeting new people there. Be yourself. Okay. And don't lie about your height or anything. Because I've heard from a lot of people that when they meet the person, they're like, what? You're totally different too. The pictures and that. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, boys and girls, okay, don't lie. Don't over exaggerate your face. Yes. Be authentic. Okay. And yeah, so it was when we met, we were just chatting and all that, and then I found out he was not even from my city. So I'm just like, all right, I don't know if I want to do a long distance and but then we were already having a good conversation, like friends, like very friendly conversation, right? So I thought, okay, let's just keep chatting, and then if we lost interest for each other, let's just let it be. So long story short, it led to a long distance relationship and where we are today. So I really have to say that when you don't expect anything and just have like a really, not casual, but a relaxed attitude, and really leave it to the universe. Like I totally left this one, like this relationship that I have with my husband, everything leading up to our wedding, the marriage and all that, the long-term commitment. It was all like we both had, I think, very balanced and relaxed attitude. And at the same time, we also respected each other. So yeah, so I feel that this is like the key to attract a healthy relationship is not to have expectation, but really focus on working yourself, attune the energy.
I think that's actually important with all of the law of attraction, is no expectation, because we're limiting ourselves. Like think about what is it that you want in your partner, right? Let's just take a second just to think, like, what is my ideal partner? And then just ask yourself, like, how do I know? Where's that come from, right? That's been conditioned, and that's limited. And like the universe could have actually someone who's so much more, perfect for you, aligned with you. But while you're looking for this, right, you're looking for, so don't think of a black cat, you're thinking of a black cat, you're going to see black cats everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't think about pigeons, we're going to see pigeons everywhere, right? So you're just looking for that. You're looking for that, what you think is right for you. What do we know? Do we actually know? Do you think that you really know what's right for you? Has it worked out so far? Well, it hasn't for me. So as Jean said, like, that's what worked for her. That way, which way?
Yeah, you're right. Point to your left.
No expectations. And I think, yeah, that's I think that's the biggest one, really. And the best way to sort of tie it up is just that, like, law of attraction. Let go of your expectations. Let the universe surprise you, show you what's right for you. And I think I saw this really good video. I think have you heard of Teal Swan? And she was saying that when we ask the universe now for love, right? Ask to manifest love. Start thinking about affirmations and manifesting the man of our dreams, or the woman of our dreams, or the love of our dreams. Then what it often might do is show you the exact opposite of that, so that you're fully aware of the opposite of your of love first. Okay, so that might happen, right? And then you'll truly be able to appreciate, real love, real, genuine, pure, authentic love. So even if, like, you're asking for love, and then someone comes along and it's painful, still appreciate it. There's still something left to learn, right? Every time you're in pain, you're emotionally hurt, there's something left to learn. Learn it as deeply as you can, appreciate it as deeply as you can. drop your expectations and focus on yourself, because I think that's really, when I've seen my friends do that, it's always worked. They've been like going to the gym, focusing, maybe doing yoga and like self-improvement, and fully committed to that, made themselves really busy, and like without fail every single one of them have manifested like perfect man in that place.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I'll say that's one of the formulas, right? Because I've seen other cases of also doing the same thing in alignment with, the law of attraction. And then that helped them, manifest the loving relationship. And in my case, I actually didn't do a checklist. Actually, I don't remember if I ever actually made a checklist of like who my ideal partner would be, because I know they also, tell people to do that. And I know like some of my friends actually have manifested their partners who actually really tick off all the boxes, right? And for me, I really didn't have any, checklist. But I think as long as we hold very strong to our own values, right? Like everybody has their own values. If I ask you, like, Amy, what are your values? You would tell me your values. And as long as you stand up to your values and you stick to them, those values will actually help you attract that right partner who actually agrees and shares your values. Right. And all that external things, like whether this person's handsome, tall, whatever, lots of hair, no hair, those things, right? Those things I think are actually secondary. If this person happens to be very, handsome and all that, right? Fit, athletic, I actually see that as a bonus. Okay. But it's not like the main criteria. The main criteria, I think, is actually the values that person holds.
For sure.
Right. And the traits.
I mean, we've all been there where it's like someone, oh my goodness, look how hot they are, and then they start speaking, you're like, no, you've just lost all of it. Like that's it.
Right.
You just can't rely on
Exactly. Just only look good, right? And just don't speak and no substance. Just look good. So I'm just saying that.
Fine,
of course.
maybe not.
right. Yeah.
Like doesn't resonate with me as a person. Then maybe they resonate with someone else as a person, but maybe not with me. So
exactly. Yeah. So like my advice would be, sometimes don't be too obsessed with the shopping list of like this person has to be this and that, right? But actually be really, really aligned with your values, right? And and be true to that, and those would definitely attract the right person, right? And then it's up to the universe to decide if you end up being with a good-looking person, not good-looking, average, whatever, you're gonna love it, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So it doesn't matter, and you're not gonna complain that, oh, your partner's better looking than my partner or something like that, right? That would not even happen.
It's like what we were talking about the other day with like when like the spirit is aligned and the energy is great, like that shines through, and then you've got that person and they're not classically good looking, but there's just some energy about them that's just magnetic, and that's like that's even probably. And then that person probably has qualities that you really are attracted to, and like they become more attractive to you, they become more aligned with you because of that.
Definitely that's a big one. And also, like, one more thing I would like to mention is, like, those of you who are in a relationship already, and like some people may feel that like a loving, healthy relationship should be like no fights and every day is like Valentine's Day. But I'll tell you this, like, we are all humans, right? We definitely were bound to run into conflicts and clashes, and we'll have arguments. Like me and my husband, we have our differences and things like that. But the important thing is, like, don't be upset about, the differences or the arguments and things like that. That could happen because, we're talking about putting two different human beings under the same roof, living together. Right. And, each one of us is raised in a different environment, different beliefs and different lifestyles and things like that. You're bound to have differences. But the key is to communicate. Even when you have disagreement, right? You're going to be able to, like, openly and transparently communicate with each other and tell each other how you feel. Like, I don't like the way you say that. It really upset me. And the other person, like, you have to understand where's the person coming from, and understand that, oh, okay, right, this really upsets you, and then I'll watch my tone next time. And also, like, oh, like, whatever's upsetting you and all these things, you got to be able to communicate it. And yes, sometimes it's not easy. Like, you got to have those, like, difficult talks, right, with each other. It's not every day it's like chocolates and roses, but this is all part of the whole journey of, like, the sustainable long-term relationship that keeps you two together. is that you are able to communicate with each other through the thick and thin. And that is my, so far, 2 years of marriage. We just celebrate 2 years. 2 years of marriage. Yeah, thank you. My little my little advice for my young marriage. And I know that a lot of people who are watching right now, some of you have been married for like, how many decades, and that you definitely have a lot more wisdom to share. I remember before I got,
that's actually so important what you've just mentioned, and I'm glad that you brought it up, because it ties into what I was saying. Like any time that you're triggered, like your pain body or is triggered, or your belief system is triggered, your ego is triggered, that's like a chance for you to evolve. So actually, if you can consciously work through it, like Jing was just explaining there, that's the best. Like that, you're going to take each other to the next level of awakening so much faster if you can consciously work through the problems. Someone like really mentioned this to me recently, and it stuck with me, is that like they said they were in their relationship that they're in now, and there was times where it was so much pain, and they had this option. They come to this option, right? We can just leave, right, and avoid the triggers, or we can choose to stay and finally work through the triggers, because you leave this person with your triggers, you're going to go to the next person with the triggers as well, and just see them all over again. Finally, you need to find someone, like Jing was saying, who you can consciously work through this stuff with, and the relationship is the perfect space to do that if you can stay conscious, stay present with each other, and communicate, for sure. So this is what I'm looking for. Like, hopefully, you never know. I'm happy just as I am, but it would be nice, I think, to meet someone.
Yes, it will happen. It will definitely happen, right? And now you put it out in the universe.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like an order, right?
Yeah.
The universe, Amazon is like, start working their magic now.
It's a good place to be. Like, it would be nice, but I don't need it, So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So
definitely. Yeah. So, I love Amy's attitude, like if it happens, it happens, but I'm happy with my life right now. And usually that kind of attitude would, like universe will throw something at you. Okay. And like those of you who are kind of like consciously thinking about it all the time, it will take some practice for you to like forget about it. Like forget as in you really get on with your life and enjoy, whatever that is, keeping you busy, whether it's like an art project or like doing yoga or building your business, attach yourself to a project, attach yourself to a mission, right? That is so big that it consumes you, not in a bad way, like, it consumes you body, mind, and spirit in a happy way, so that you are fully immersed and indulging in the joy of doing that thing, right? Project or whatever it is that you're doing. Then, it takes your mind off. And also, this is when your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, that is when the love, the relationship calling will start to get stronger, like the real one, right?
Like a magnet. You're a magnet.
Yeah, you will not attract the wrong people. Okay, that's what I mean. Some people keep attracting the wrong people. They have no problem attracting.
Oh yeah, just check my Facebook message.
Right, exactly, right. Like the attraction thing for a lot of people is not an issue, but it's about attracting the right people, right? Like both for friendship or opportunities and for relationships, the whole thing is about energy attraction here. So I know this is something that we can talk about for like hours and days and months, right? So I hope everybody got a lot of values out today's session here. And then I see a lot of messages. Like I didn't notice we got so many messages coming in as we're talking. We got, hey Emily, superstar Emily, and Ara still here. She's agreeing with a lot of the stuff that we're saying. She's saying there's so many fake people on those apps. I know, right?
Oh, Charmy says, you don't know how much I needed to listen to all of this. Charmy, you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay, and we love you, right? We do.
Yes.
I don't even know you.
Sending you lots of love. Yes.
You don't need anything.
Right. Exactly. And then is that Spanish? There's a Spanish from Maria Antonietta. I think I need to look at the translation. I become small to fit into other people's world, and I got lost. I'm barely recovering. Okay, so
the translation is,
So I just read out the translation. Yeah. So she becomes small when she tried to fit into other people's worlds, and she got lost. Yeah.
Oh, the holiday is so perfect. Like when she realizes that she's just being a cameo role in other people's movie when it comes to relationships. Like she's the co-star. You want to be the star. I don't know if this is what Maria's saying, but this is what I'm getting from it. You want to be the star of your own movie. This is Kate Winslet, like final realization. Why am I like co-starring and like cameo rolling in other people's movies? I need to be the star of my own movie, right? Stop trying to put yourself into someone else's little movie there and be like just a guest star. You want to be the star of your own movie.
Yes, exactly. And I have been there before. I have been there where I try to fit myself into someone else's world and trying to please and follow everything that other person wanted. And the result, okay, well, I can't really say it's 100%, but like most likely the result is that you don't get what you want. And also, you know, the whole thing ends up being very toxic,
Yeah.
you know, because you become so, you're bending backwards, you know,
Small, like small, what she's saying, you know, stand up.
Exactly.
Stand up, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're gonna, you know, you're more than this. I don't care who you are, I don't care what's happening in your life, I don't care what kind of person you are, you're beautiful, you're worthy, and you stand up, you know, don't let anyone make you be like this, for sure.
Exactly. And let your own authenticity come out, right? Don't let anything squash your authenticity down. So, you know, if that person is doing that, squashing your authenticity and molding you into someone else, and you're trying to mold yourself to fit someone else's standard, then this is not the right relationship for you. Right? We're just gonna say it like as it is. You know, I've done enough sugarcoating, you know, in my past, and then you know, I'm just like we don't have not that we don't have time. Like life is short. Why wasting all the time sugarcoating? And we're really here to give everybody the most genuine, you know, the most raw, exactly, the raw and authentic, you know, like the talk that we have, this conversation here is meant to like, you know, empower everybody. So, you know, we don't have time for BS, okay?
No.
Yes, we don't have time for all of that. So we just come out and say it as it is.
I think that's why we get on so well. Like I love you, Jing. I love you.
I love you too. Yes. I don't have time to say fake love. Okay. There's a song called Fake Love by BTS. I know. So anyway, so, you know, we don't have time for fake love or anything like that. So life is too short. And also, I think before we end today's amazing episode, I think we can definitely make more episodes about love and relationship.
Yeah.
I can see our chat is going crazy. Our comments going crazy. So let us know in the comment if there's any particular topic in the love and relationship, you know, theme that you would like us to talk about. Like, I don't know, maybe how to recover from breakup, or how to, I don't know, or even while you're in the relationship, what to do, or something about texting. I don't know. You let us know, right? You know, I'm so content with being single. I may never find love again. Where's the problem? That's from Candice, I think. Oh, wow. You're being content with being single. That's great. There's no problem there. Don't consciously think that, you know, the fact that you don't feel like you have a need to find love is a problem. Just
don't look for a problem. Don't look
exactly.
For a problem.
Right.
No. Yeah, that so many people want to get to that point. Own it. And you're strong and beautiful, Candice. I've seen you on the screen, so like just own it. Like at the end of the day, we came into this world alone. We're gonna leave this world alone. Yeah, we have a lot of people around us, and it's wonderful. But like, you know, at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat. We're all gonna leave alone at the end of the day. So yeah, don't just be happy. Just own that, like strength that I see in you there, and just yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You're gonna be a badass either way.
That's right. Yes, just tell yourself that I'm so content being single. That's it. Finish the sentence there. Right.
We want to lose our problems. Everyone else wants to lose their problems. Candice wants to gain a problem. No.
I know, right? It sounds like she's she sounds like she's got a perfect life, but then she's like, it's too perfect. I'm too happy being single. I think it's because like we're all conditioned to think that being single is a problem. Like being single is sad or something is, you know, is the way to go, right? So if someone who is single,
it has to be a problem, right? It has to be a challenge. No.
Like if you're single and happy and not desperate to look for someone, then is there something wrong with you, right? I think it's again a social conditioning again. So there's nothing wrong with that, you know, like it's actually the way to go. Being happy, content, being single is the way to go. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Actually, there was there was something that I actually do want to mention. It's actually quite important, but I forgot. So like if you guys want us to talk about relationship and love again, then definitely let us know. We can definitely make more you know, sessions about this. And also I really forgot, but I thought it was really important. But
hashtag replay. We have to put hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Let us know.
Hashtag replay. It will come. It's
let us know if you've got benefit from this. And how are you doing? We'll be reading through the comments and giving our advice.
I remember now. Okay. So before we end, I'm gonna say it as a word of wisdom to wrap it up, but I'll let Amy, share her like a one sentence or a couple of sentences of wisdom to wrap it up for today.
Right now? Oh,
Yes. She looks so funny, right? She's okay, I'm gonna go into my meditation first.
let me think. What do you need to hear? I think it just comes down to the relation that we were doing in that meditation, and what I always say, like, I love you all, right? I don't even know you. I know that I love you. I know that, like, this community, it's enough, right? You're enough, and you don't need to be looking outside to find that worthiness, that wholeness, that completeness, right? The second thing is that life doesn't have to be difficult. Love does not have to be difficult. Don't look for problems. Don't look for difficulty, and work on yourself. This is what we've been talking about the whole time, is just like focus on yourself, as Jean was saying, and then you become a magnet, and whether you get it or you don't, you're happy, you're whole, you're complete. That's really we can't sugarcoat it. We can't say there's a trick, right? You have to do the work. You have to get to the point that Candice has got to, because, like, bow down to Candice. That's where we want to be. Let's finish with that. I'm so content with being single. That's it. No problem.
Exactly.
I'm whole.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much, Amy. And also, for me to wrap it up, I actually want to mention that this is just my view, right? Some of you may hate me for saying this, but it's okay. All right. Is that I know a lot of people find themselves in complicated relationships. You see the relationship status. Relationship status is complicated. And like I have been in complicated relationship status before myself, and I know that it really was too much of an energy drainer. So now I'm just like, I really, especially for women out there, right? Man, yes, for you guys too. I want to say this, do not get yourself into a complicated relationship. If the relationship gets complicated, leave it. Like, really leave it. Like love, like Amy said, love does not have to be, hard, right? It's either, you both are fully in it, like, like on the same page, or you're not. Okay, I really think it's just as simple as that. All right. If it gets a little bit complicated, like here and there, it's off, it's not off, it's finished and not off.
That's not love. That's not
exactly.
Love, it's not real
love. A lot of times it's like a whole game. It's really like what do you call it?
We could go about this for ages. We're taught that love's like that. That's false. Love is easy. Love is everywhere. It
should not be like a manipulation of power, right? Like the whole ego game and all these things. It just gets so complicated. Why do you want to waste your energy or time on something like that? Why don't you just put why don't you want to live a very nice, easy, life where, okay, we're both in it. Okay, great. Not like, oh, not yet, give me some time, or I'm not done with this one yet, but I really want to start with you. That kind of stuff, right? So this is just my point of view. Okay, some people may, like definitely disagree with that. That is completely okay. But this is just something I do want to really like loudly voice up, that we should not waste our time and energy into complicated relationships. With all that energy you have, invest more into growing yourself. So that's all for today.
Maybe we need to do a part two. I think we need more focus. Like, comment in the box what would part two be about, and like,
definitely, yes, let us know what exactly you want us to focus on. I mean, we covered quite a lot today, right? It's probably a good sort of like we open a can of this whole relationship worms, right? And next week we'll just pick out one worm and go, okay, we're gonna be talking about how to get rid of that ex, how to leave a relationship or something like that, right? So let us know. Whoever makes the first suggestion, we're going to pick your topic, and then we're going to talk about it next week. Okay, so let's see who's the brave one here. All right, just suggest to us, and next week, same time, Wednesday, 5 p.m. next week. Do we have a yoga challenge? There's no yoga challenge, right? Same time, 5 p.m. Amy and I will be here to talk about the thing that you want to talk about. Whoever's going to be the first one to make a suggestion. Okay, let's see if it's going to be Emily or Candice or Chami or Maria. Who else is here? Ara's still here. Yeah, Sarah. I don't know. We got like 14 people watching, so I don't know who else is here. So give us your topic on the whole love and relationship thing. And we'll talk about next week. Shall we do that, Amy?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I guess
we've got one question: how to maintain balance in a relationship.
Maybe sorry, I didn't see that.
Figure something out.
Sure, let's talk about it next week. So, Chami, make sure you tune in live at 5 p.m. UK time. I don't know what time is in your country, but yeah, we'll talk about it next week. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll circle that and go. And we tag your name, okay? We tag your name and say it's requested by Chami. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Amy.
Love you, Jing.
You know, as always, lots of love for you and
Okay.
always enjoy
And to
being
all
here
of
with
you.
you.
We're here.
Yes,
You don't
we're
need
here
any
for
love.
you.
We're here. We can send all our love right now.
Yes, lots of love for you, girls and guys. Okay, so see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.